What's up, everybody? Welcome to Other Space. Today we're hanging out with the homie Sean Nana and Millie Meditate. I'm Jason the Ape. I'm out in the swamp having a nice drink, but figured we're gonna kick it a little bit, talk about what's been going on in the world of heavy metal and Legends of the Mara. There's just so much coming to the other side. So, Sean, how you doing today, man? Excited to chop
Good
it up?
man, I'm coming off of a nice little dose of excitement, with all these we just got hit with a couple of really good news around heavy metal as well as Legends of the Mara. And so
Yeah.
I can't wait to just dissect it. We had a really great time in the Other Space Discord, going through it, exploring it with each other, started exploring all the different traits. So just being able to have some time to chop it up with you one on one.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, dude. Another reason why, if you guys haven't joined the Other Space FM Discord, get a hold of Jason the Ape or Nana, and we'll hook you up with the link. We're not ready to just put it in the YouTube description just yet, but maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We want to get like the most engaged community members who are ambitious and excited about all this stuff into our Discord. So far we have such an amazing group of people, and I'm so excited to continue to build this out because we're gonna need to guild up. We're gonna need to
oh yeah,
strategize. We're gonna need to figure out how to help each other out, and what an opportunity for us to be able to help facilitate that.
absolutely. So the thing we'll talk about first is heavy metal and Legend of the Mara are two different games for two different worlds in a sense, right? Like
Yeah.
heavy metal came from the sewer pass. That's tied directly to having a bored ape or a mutant. And then Legends of the Mara has to do with holding an other side deed, which anyone can own. And that came through, what was it? Unpairing your deed and getting a vessel, and now the new deed. So heavy metal just did a big reveal, and we finally got to see what we've been holding on to. So maybe we'll
Yeah.
start there.
Let's start with the heavies, dude.
Yeah, bro.
We knew earlier in the week that there would be the EVO-1 reveal. And so up until this point, we've been sitting on power sources, which we've earned through the sewer pass and playing Dookie Dash. And
Yep.
so to see our heavy metals reveal, at least the first evolution of it, right? We know these are going to evolve into Evo 2s, but we're going to need to work on, and the decisions that we make now is going to really dictate how these will evolve. So can't wait to continue to get more involved with heavy metal and heavy metal forge, which
Ooh,
is coming up in June, which is what today's May 17th. So it's coming up very shortly. We're halfway
nice.
into the month of May. So I think we're ready to gear up and start to strategize like how we're going to approach this. This is some really, really cool art. Every single HV or heavy type has its own personality too. So
Yeah,
maybe we
yeah.
can go through each one and talk about some of the traits that we've discovered and
Hell yeah.
seen. I do have your wallet pulled up right here.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Congratulations, dude. These
Thanks, man.
look amazing. And you already got some nice offers, dude.
I want to see these through all the way to Evo 3, right? Because we know this is just their infancy stage. There's going to be games we play that will, based on our decisions, actions, and gameplay, will evolve these into different forms, right? So right off the bat, 594, the black and red Reaver with the sword,
Yeah.
that's by far the most badass one that I have. I think that one is going to look amazing as a evolved bigger character, right? Where it almost looks like a transformer, right? Where it has legs and arms and a body and a torso, and that's going to look pretty magnificent as a big creature.
Yeah.
What
I
it,
mean, the weapon stands out, right? Like,
right.
first of all, the Reavers came out super sick, dude. They
I
just
agree.
all look super mean and vicious, and like you don't want to fuck with them.
Mm-mm.
But the fact that it has like these freaking gauntlet hands holding this what do they call it?
Flaming
Flaming
tongue.
tongue.
There was only 28 of those yesterday when I checked. So I thought, all right, that's pretty cool.
Let's see. Yeah, 29 total.
29 now. They're all collectively pretty badass. But I'm not going to lie, the Celestial one that I have is actually my favorite. Visually, I just think the Celestials look the coolest.
Man, they do.
And it has a little companion on it.
I don't think you can miss with the Celestials. Plus, you got that companion, and it's cool to see how each companion has its own personality too. You know, just with you got like these little arms coming out. Like, what the hell is that? With
well, and then think about that image. Those are going to grow into bigger characters at some point as well. They're not going to just be little baby blobs.
Yeah. We also saw like back in May of last year, Enway put out that teaser image of an upcoming play to earn game that they know that they are partnering with Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Bored Ape Yacht Club is heavy metal, you know, so there very well could be a tie-in with Enway with
absolutely.
all of this, even though, you know, we are really focused on Heavy Metal Forge, but who knows if these will be interoperable with an upcoming play to earn game, you know, or a PvP arena.
I mean, when we see that heavy metal arena and we see these evolving, right? Like, do you think we'll be battling each other, or we'll be battling different, like, you know, characters called NPCs?
Probably both, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how all this comes into play. But up until that point, it's all speculation, right? There are some things that we do know.
What do we know?
We do know what's on the heavy metal website.
Okay.
As well as the kind of like what we need to know about heavy metal. And I figure maybe we can even break this down. You know, this is Yuga's official blog, and this has been the way they've been giving updates for Legends of the Mara. And now we got a new article posted by Greg Solano, around heavy metal and what we need to know about it. So nice. I think we can totally just go through this and maybe get your comments on each one of these little parts.
Yeah, let's jump through it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know, it says started at the butthole, now we're here. What to expect, our trait system, heavy rarity, and more. The heavy metal reveal, what we need to know. A little while back, a bunch of you sped through the sewers beneath the swamp to try and win the privilege of pulling a key from the space-tearing anus of a monkey. Probably you're not mongrel. Probably you failed. The key opened a chest with stories painted on it. The chest contained a power source with a bone-shaped remote. Next thing you knew, you had a power source of your own. Today, your power source reveals a sentient form. And so they put out this video, which is pretty sick.
All right, let's jump into it. Sneaky, sneaky. Yo. Wow. It's really funny because to most people, when they see that, they're going to go like, I don't really understand the context, right? Of course. But to us, we see that, and we see our friends in those videos. I see Vera, I see Peter.
That's Sarah Stargirl, dude.
Yeah, like I get excited with the idea of the dog, you know, like what does that little clip at the end mean? Are we going to be fighting the power source with our dog? Because that looked like they didn't look like they were going to pair up how I thought they were at first, you know, like I thought the dog was going to go into the Evo at some point, maybe.
I mean, yeah, it is really cool to see like a bunch of fellow apes that are represented in this, which is super cool to see, you know. And you see little Gary over here sneaking into the chest, and looks like he grabs that wand. Look at his arm.
A long ass arm.
I know. He grabs that remote, and all of a sudden these power sources reveal themselves. Oof. We got the legendary one right here.
Yeah, by that's Adam. So cool.
And everyone's super stoked. They see it reveal. Boom. You got Sarah Stargirl's ape right there, freaking revealing. And all of a sudden, this power source opens, and you see Curtis tearing up, just seeing how beautiful this is. And here it is again. Sarah's ape just staring at this thing. This is a dynamic one with the chain. That's one of the most iconic ones. They've been using it in a lot of their promotional content. And yeah, so you got the heavies revealed from the power sources. And one of the dogs that was initially at the bottom, right over here on the bottom right-hand corner, there's actually several doggos in this besides Gary. Is clearly wondering, is clearly I don't know, like is it mad? I think it's just being a good boy, you know?
Like the way your dog will bark at a vacuum.
You know? It's like, yo, what is this?
I'm
I need to protect you from this, and I'm not sure. And you know, with this, I guess, glitch heavy metal type, you have like this really friendly face, but underneath one half is open and it looks evil as fuck. So
oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're for. I can't wait to evolve it. I can't wait to play it. So what else do we know? What else did they give us?
So it says what's inside. Your power source received its metadata update. It's ready to admire on the marketplaces. If it's still in its previous form, refresh the metadata, give it a few. So all of them are revealed. Trait system, method to the madness. There's 8 different types of heavies, over 1,050 traits across the collection. Trait system for the heavy metal collection was developed based on a steep rarity scale within each heavy metal class. It was not a simple journey to select the proper model that would rank the rarity of each of the heavies. Gary's weed definitely didn't help, or it helped a lot. You know, speaking of the rarity, like at first, when you were browsing through OpenSea typically has like the open rarity ranking. And that was removed from the collection. So I think a lot of people I think Yuga was just like, yo, you need to remove that because it is not representative of the actual rarity.
Right. There's too many traits.
Yeah. And it's dynamic. A lot of these things could change, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they say we experimented with 5 different models that measured the similarities and differences between each of the heavy metals. These models were based on probabilistic, Jacquard, cosine, and Euclidean, and Manhattan distance indices. After several cycles, the Yuga art team and game team chose to implement the probabilistic formula. The formula best reflected what we wanted to express with rarity ranking of the collection based on the Dookie Dash ranks, while also spreading different types of traits across the collection. So they were going through different ranking models. Speaks to how crazy it was to put out this collection, you know, to come up with a rarity model with this was really difficult. And so it's nice to know like what they explored,
right,
and figured what formula would be best. And it's tied to the actual serial number, which is your rank, right? So that's something that I think is important, because when you go through this collection, just back on the website, each one of these heavy metal types has a number that falls within this range. And this was your rank in Dookie Dash, you know, a rank on your sewer pass. And so, you know, if you're going for, if you have a glitch, chances are the numbers that land in 22,000 to 23, 24, those are going to be more of the rare ones in the glitch collection. And then with dynamic, if you have something in the 15,000 range, that's going to be the most rare in that particular heavy metal class, and so forth. So like with your Reaver, if you got something that's around 251, or like your Celestial number is 2132, right? So you're in kind of like toward the top of the ranking, because it's at the range here is 1,251 to 4,250. So as you're kind of like looking through the collection, if you're looking to snipe something, I think that's important to kind of note, is just know the range, because the number corresponds with the ranking as well.
Yeah, that's good information. So now if someone's looking at heavy metal and they want to grab one, you know, like how I wonder how people even determine what is best for them right now, because I thought about this yesterday with the weapons. We don't know what the value for a weapon strike may be in the game, right? Like I have one Reaver with a gun and one with a sword. Well, in real life, a gun is more powerful than a sword, but they both do damage. So like, does the gun have a higher damage probability in the game, or does the sword, or, you know, like this is all interesting stuff that we're still waiting to find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Says, how does this affect heavy rarity? The token IDs for heavies were assigned based on the sewer pass ranking in Dookie Dash. The probabilistic formula also allows for heavy's rarity ranking to correspond with its token ID. Your final sewer pass rank from Dookie Dash is where the heavy will land in terms of rarity once it has been summoned. In other words, the rarity of your heavy is predetermined based on that ranking and is not randomized upon summoning. If you're still holding on to a ranked sewer pass, don't forget that the only way to participate in Heavy Metal Forge, which is the next game activation, is by summoning your EVO-1 from it. So the TLDR, your Heavy Metal token ID, is also your Heavy Metal rarity ranking within our rarity ranking model. Off you go. I love this. It says, have fun and remember, your unique heavy is a dynamic NFT that evolves based on your decisions. Don't fuck this up.
Dude, so I didn't realize that the sewer passes were still in play right now, that people were still holding on to sewer passes and maybe haven't revealed their heavy metal yet.
Yeah, there's still the sewer pass collection. And for all of the sewer passes that have a ranking, you would already know what you can expect from there. And I realized I probably wasn't sharing the correct tab earlier, just because I wanted to play that video. But when I was referring to the ranges, is like for a Celestial, these would be the ranges of the rankings.
Got it.
So this is heavymetal.com, and each one of these classes will have a range of rankings. And so if you're looking at, let's say, knights, if you got something, a serial number that's in the 4,000s, you know that's going to be one of the more rare knights.
I can't wait to see these get bigger. To be honest with you, you know, like see what they look like when they have legs. I'm curious, you know, in the Forge, what we're actually going to do, because this is the only game screenshot that we've actually seen so far, right? And it makes me feel like we're going to be set off into a world where we have activities and things to do in order to kind of level up our character, right? To evolve them. So
yeah. Dude, it's super interesting. I think it's important to just kind of start from here. In Heavy Metal Forge, build and customize a workshop that prepares your heavies for their evolution. So when I think of a workshop, I think of also like a workflow, and so you're going to need to build and customize this. Show off your creations to climb the leaderboard and unlock special abilities. I think that's another point is there's a community aspect when it comes to showing off your creations. So
Right.
whatever you do in here, there has to be a way for other community members to have some visibility into that and climb the leaderboard, which everyone has visibility to as well. And for that, you can unlock some special abilities. It also says take risks and face the dangers of the rift to discover blueprints, gather materials, and craft upgrades.
Oh.
So, blueprints, materials, upgrades, and crafting, right? So, that's kind of like when you come back over here, we see a few things. First off, you got something on the left here, like in each block, there's something different.
Right.
So, you have this red machine, you have this yellow machine, and this green machine. And so maybe your workflow and process starts with what's seemingly a blueprint, right? So maybe you discover a blueprint or you have a blueprint and you load it up into this. And then it also mentioned gathering materials. These look like some materials.
Right. It
I'm
even
not
has
really
like a cost, also a price.
Yeah, like a bolt, which these bolts show up on the top left, and it also show up right over here, right above the
Oh, I
heavy.
never saw those before.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's expending energy or something like that. Clearly, this thing is like bolts all around it. Looks like honestly, it looks like it's distressed. It's like it's working. It's working really hard.
Yeah, like
So,
it's steamed and it's been in battle, and maybe they're re-equipping it.
yeah. And so, yeah, maybe, you load blueprints over here, you gather the materials, and then you're able to craft these upgrades. Now, the
Yeah.
other thing is you also have these tiles over here on the top right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been some speculation that, like, hey, it's saying, hey, we are able to, here's some new materials that you gather or that you have. And there's like this mouse cursor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, and this is through like speculation with the other space community in the Discord, someone had suggested like maybe you take this and you plop it over to a blank kind of area over here where you
Right.
can start to like grow or just have all your materials ready for you.
Sure.
So maybe these are some of the required materials that you can like plop over here. But I even mentioned there's red, yellow, and green, and then you have this which shows the Zodiac in there, and that's blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and red, yellow, green, blue, those were the same colors as our teams in the second trip as well.
Oh yeah.
With like Team Glacia and Team Veldin and
Good observation.
Luster.
Good observation.
I mean, I'll credit all C for that.
Yeah, I mean that's why honestly, we think the Other Space Discord has been so valuable. We do this a lot in there where we'll sit down with our group and kind of break down these posts live as they happen. So it's another reason for people to be joining actively right now.
Yeah, so here we are. There's some other observations too, like what does this 97,500 mean? And if you look up here, that looks like one of the weapons. And upon doing some digging, I'll see it kind of look through the dynamic heavy metal types, and that is a rainbow flamethrower.
Wow.
And then there's an arrow, a left and a right. And so I'm wondering is like, Yo, is this the blueprint that's loaded? And what we're doing is we're trying to build this out and it's half.
Oh,
Maybe this is a progress bar on like it's halfway built out. Like we're trying to craft an upgrade.
well, do you think that I mean, from Evo 1 to Evo 2, right? Our characters are supposed to grow. So, do you think what we're doing right now is kind of assembling the items we want for the character's next development stage, right? To build it up, or
Yeah.
are you just accumulating whatever weapons and just processing them, just creating like I mean, obviously, all speculation right now. I know you don't know the answer, but it becomes a weird question of like, are we just finding whatever we find and that's what we have to build out, or are we building out what we want for our specific dynamic NFT?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the latter. And I think that's also why the whole rarity ranking is really tough because these are dynamic NFTs and even the rarity will probably change over time
Yeah,
based on who crafts what. But there's only so many materials that they can limit and so many blueprints, which may equal how many people can actually do this based
right,
on either who found that blueprint or who discovered it, or if we have certain blueprints that are already given to these heavy metals. So my thinking is this particular heavy has this blueprint right here for a rainbow flamethrower. And in order to craft it, it might require 97,500 materials
right.
for it. And this is how much energy we have so far.
Wow.
Um, and so we need to gather more materials so that we can have more energy to be able to craft this. The interesting thing is what Gary is saying, and it ties into the leaderboard. So it says 20 community votes, so popular. Someone once told me that's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. LOL. What? Keep up the good work. And the fact that it suggests to go to the leaderboard, and it's also suggesting that community members are voting on whatever it is that you're doing or
Mm.
crafting. And so, yeah, big question mark on like how does that play into it,
Yeah,
right?
I never caught that. 28 community votes, so popular. Someone once told me it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. So it's like interesting, and especially because you brought up the point that those correlate to team colors previously. Like, are we collectively like, are we always going to be on teams? You know, like maybe the next game is like, hey, um, we're all going to do this game, and whoever fills up their bucket the first as a team will get the next evolutionary step to their heavy metals, or
Yeah,
any kind of rant. I mean, who knows, right? That's just heavy
dude.
speculation, but like,
No, I love to hear
that's
it.
interesting. That's very interesting.
It's like what if this was you, right? And let's say this is Jason, the ape,
Hmm.
controlling this heavy metal, and you have a particular blueprint, and there's 20 different other people that are like, yo, that blueprint is sick, and I want that as well. I want that same upgrade, right? Because I have a dynamic heavy as well. Maybe there's a way, not only would I be able to vote on it, but I can help contribute resources or energy to helping you craft this in your workshop.
Yeah,
Maybe there's some sort of way I can contribute so that I could also receive that upgrade.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe
That
because
I mean, that would make sense because like I kept thinking when you said it, what if we were to make a blueprint that was successful, and then I wanted to sell that blueprint maybe on some marketplace so that other people can use that blueprint to create, right? So maybe it's more along the lines of what you said than selling it.
well, that's that's a possibility because there is store, leaderboard, boosts, and inventory. So the fact that there's a store tells me that there has to be some sort of marketplace for these blueprints or these upgrades.
Right.
So like if someone doesn't want to spend the time or put in the effort helping out with one of these workshops or what someone else is doing, they can say, hey, you know what? I'll, potentially an ape coin, I'll just buy the upgrade. Or maybe they can gather the materials and find some sort of way they can put time and effort to actually obtaining that item as well.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
that's important. So that way it's not just like pay to win or
Right.
just pay to upgrade. But for anyone that does put in the work, there could be a benefit, because you might be able to sell that to someone. Or if you just need these resources, like, or materials, maybe there's a way you can either, like, if you don't have enough time, you can purchase it.
Right.
Or if someone else gathers materials and is focusing on that, maybe they can purchase it off someone else, and
Yeah.
let community members kind of contribute toward it.
I, I think these
So
are brilliant points, man. And I'm glad we did this deep dive into the heavy metal, because this image is something I didn't look at so intensely before. And I'm sure a lot of others out there, are in the same boat.
yeah, man, I'm just so excited. We got some amazing guests coming up that are lined up for the next few weeks. And, to have the Damn Show talk about their journey with the AIP. And now the Damn Show is powered by ApeCoin.
Ooh, congrats, guys.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun. I'm excited for the future,
Wow.
but we'll, yeah, I can't wait to learn more information about it. We do know that heavy metals, if we end up going to the website mdvmm.xyz, this is kind of the roadmap for it. And we just had EVO-1 reveal. It came through the
Right.
Rift. So time to play, the journey to EVO-2.
Ooh.
That begins in June. Yep. And you better believe we're going to start to come together as a squad and strategize in the Other Space Discord.
Yeah. Hell
So,
yeah.
reach out to our personal Twitter accounts and let us know you want in on the Other Space Discord if you're watching this video, and we'll be happy to have you there. Like Jason said, we're not just putting it out publicly just yet, so that anyone stumbling across. But for anyone who's engaging with Other Space and ourselves, we'd love to have you there, because we want to develop a really, really great team.
Sean, dude, thank you so much for hanging out and breaking down the heavy metals with us today. I found that very informative, and I think a lot of others out there will too. If you guys appreciate this content, make sure to subscribe and like the video so that other people can find this and learn about the mech types, because heavy metals, that info is pretty heavy. So you got to break it down with your community. You have any parting words as we wrap today, Sean?
Yeah, dude. Dude, I can't wait to just have fun with people.
Yeah.
If you're excited about this, so are we. And I can't wait to geek out. Let us know in the comments if you're pumped for heavies, and look forward to figuring this out together. We're getting information week after week, little by little, but it's all coming together, and we're ramping up. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for kicking it with us, and appreciate you joining us for some live research that we're doing together.
Awesome. Later, guys.